Good morning students. In previous lecture we have learned about overtones and harmonics. Okay. The lowest fundamental frequency is called harmonic and the highest frequency of vibrating string is called overtone. So today we are going to know about transverse impedance, or sometimes it is also called as characteristic impedance. Okay. Today we are going to know about transverse impedance or characteristic impedance. Characteristic impedance. So to explain this concept, we are considering a string of infinite length. Okay, consider a string of length, of infinite length L. Okay, with tension T. With tension T. Now, that means we are considering a string of infinite length. Now, some tension is produced if you give jerk on it, and this gives the velocity at x is equal to 0, and here t sine theta, and this component gives the transverse displacement. Now the external driving force, that means the external force is applied at one end of the string. Okay, some force is applied at one end of the string. Then the wave propagates along the positive x direction. This is positive x direction. So if you give some force at one end, then the string vibrates along the positive x direction. Now the ratio between force, that means driving force F, and particle velocity. Okay, particle velocity here we are considering u. So the ratio, we are considering the ratio between driving force, that means applied force. The ratio between driving force F and particle velocity. Here particle velocity you are representing with u. At that particular incidence is known as transverse wave impedance. Okay, if you take the ratio between driving force and particle velocity u, then it gives, these two parameters gives the transverse impedance. Transverse impedance or characteristic impedance of the vibrating string. So from this, how can you define transverse impedance? Transverse impedance is defined as the ratio between driving force F, that means applied force, and particle velocity. Now here wave impedance depends upon, okay, here wave impedance depends upon mechanical properties. Wave impedance depends on some parameters. Depends on some parameters like inertia. And elasticity of a string. Elasticity of a string. So the wave impedance depends upon two parameters like mechanical properties, mainly inertia and elasticity of a string. So it is called as characteristic impedance. So we are calling it as characteristic impedance. Characteristic impedance. Why we are calling this transverse impedance as characteristic impedance? Because the wave impedance depends upon some mechanical properties like inertia and elasticity. So we are calling them as characteristic impedance. Now we are considering the external driving force. Okay, the external driving force F is given by F is equal to F naught e power j omega t is applied. That means this force is applied at one end. Okay, at x is equal to 0. That means the external force is applied at x is equal to 0. Now this external force is equal and opposite to transverse component of the tension. That is, it will be equal to T sine theta. So therefore F is equal to this the external driving force is equal to transverse component of tension. Okay, so that is minus T sine theta. So F is also equal to minus T sine theta. So consider this as equation number 1 and 2. So far what I have said, in transverse impedance we have considered a string of length L with tension T. Now we are applying some external driving force at one end of the string. Then it tries to propagate along the x direction. Now we are defining transverse impedance. The transverse impedance is defined as the ratio between driving force F and particle velocity u. So F by u is equal to transverse impedance. This transverse impedance or wave impedance depends upon some mechanical properties such as inertia and elasticity. So we are calling this transverse impedance as characteristic impedance. Now we are going to consider the expression for the external driving force. The external driving force is given by F is equal to F naught e power j omega t. Okay, now we are saying that this external force is equal and opposite to transverse component of tension. So this force is equal and opposite to transverse component of tension. The transverse component of tension is given by T sine theta. So F is equal to minus T sine theta. Now if theta is small, here minus T sine theta you are observing. If you assume that the angle is small, that is, if theta is small, then sine theta is equal to dou y by dou x. Dou y by dou x. Now equation 2. Then equation 2 can be written as so F is equal to minus T sine, what is theta ma? What is theta value? Dou y by dou x. Dou y by dou x. Consider this as equation number 3. This as equation number 3. Now equating 1 and 3. Okay, equating 1 and 3. So what you will get? LHS are same, so I am going to equate 1 and 3. So what you will get? F naught, you write down the sentence, equating equation 1 and 3. So what you will get? From equation 1 we are having F naught e power j omega t is equal to minus T sine dou y by dou x. Okay, this from equation 1 and this from equation 3. Now what you will get? This you consider it as equation number 4. This you consider it as equation number 4. Now the particle displacement. Okay, we are going to consider the particle displacement equation. The particle displacement. You know that particle displacement is given by y of x comma t. Particle displacement y of x comma t is equal to a e power j of omega t minus kx. Okay. Now consider this as equation number 5. Now differentiating equation 5 with respect to x. Differentiating equation 5 with respect to x. Now differentiating equation 5 with respect to x. So what you will get here? Dou y by dou x is equal to minus j k a e power j omega t. Consider this as equation number 6. That means differentiating equation 5 you will get dou y by dou x is equal to minus j k a e power j omega t. Now substituting equation 6 in equation number 4. So what is equation 4? F naught. Okay, equation 4 is F naught e power j omega t is equal to minus t sine dou y by dou x. So we have known the value of dou y by dou x from 6. So we are going to substitute equation 6 in 4. So what you will get? F naught e power j omega t is equal to minus t sine. Okay, what is dou y by dou x value ma? Minus j k here sine theta. Sine theta value is nothing but dou y by dou x. So there is no sign here. Minus t into minus j k a e power j omega t. Because overall we have considered sine theta is equal to dou y by dou x. So minus t sine theta. In place of sine theta we are going to substitute dou y by dou x. So you will get minus t into minus j k a e power j omega t. Now here minus you will get the plus term. So f naught e power j omega t is equal to minus to minus you will get plus t j k a e power j omega t. So here you are observing e power j omega t. Here also you are observing e power j omega t. These two terms gets cancelled and the remaining terms are f naught is equal to t j k a. Okay, t j k a. Now from this we are going to we can write it as k value. Okay, we are going to substitute k value where k is equal to w by v. Here w represents angular frequency by wave velocity. So I am going to substitute k value where k is equal to w by v. So how can you write? F naught is equal to t j w a by v. Okay. Now in this I am interested in finding a. So here a is equal to f naught v by t j omega. Okay, consider this as equation number 7. Okay, consider this as equation number 7. Substituting equation 7 in 5. Substituting equation 7 in equation 5. So what is equation 7? So this. Okay. Substituting this equation in equation 5. What is equation 5? Equation 5 is y of x comma t is equal to ae power j of omega t minus kx. Okay, this is equation number 5. In this we are going to substitute 7, that means a value. So here a is there now, so this value we are going to substitute here. Now y of x comma t is equal to, what is a value? F naught v by t j omega into, okay, into e power j of omega t minus kx. So after substituting a value from 7 in equation 5, you will get y of x comma t is equal to f naught v by t j omega into a exponential of j of omega t minus kx. Consider this as equation number 8. This is equation number 8. Now differentiating equation 8 with respect to t. Okay, differentiating equation 8 with respect to t. So what you will get here, dou y by dou t is equal to f naught v by t j omega into, with respect to t, no, so what you will get here, j e exponential of j of omega t minus kx. We are considering at the point x is equal to 0. Now here dou y by dou t is nothing but particle velocity. Okay, particle velocity is represented by u of x comma y, okay, which is nothing but x comma t, which is nothing but dou y by dou t is equal to f naught. Here j omega is there, here also j omega is there, it gets cancelled. So what you will get, f naught v by, okay, t into e power j of omega t minus kx. Consider this as equation number 9. This is equation number 9. Now by defining, by the definition, the characteristic impedance or the transverse impedance is denoted by Z is equal to external periodic force. External periodic force by particle velocity. Particle velocity. That is Z is equal to F by U. Now from characteristic impedance is defined as external periodic force by particle velocity. So particle velocity is represented with F. By particle external periodic force is represented with F, and particle velocity is denoted by U. So this F value we can know from equation 1, and this U value you can know from equation 9. So you can write Z is equal to, what is equation 1? That is F naught e power j omega t, okay, by, what is particle velocity from equation 9? F naught v by t into e power j of omega t minus kx. Okay, so from this what gets cancelled? F naught, here F naught gets cancelled, here and here we are considering e power j omega t. Now here we got this. Here what is the condition? At x is equal to 0. That means wherever x is there you have to keep 0. So what you will get overall? E power j omega t. So here also you can consider the condition at x is equal to 0. So what you will get? Z is equal to F naught gets cancelled. What are the remaining terms? E power j omega t by v by t into e power j omega t. Because this x, if you substitute x is equal to 0 here, this whole term becomes 0. So here this by no. So here e power j omega t, e power j omega t gets cancelled, and the remaining terms are u by t, that is z is equal to 1 by v by t. So how can you write this? Z is equal to t by v. Okay, so here t is nothing but the t value we can know from the wave velocity. What is wave velocity? How can you define? V is equal to under root t by mu. Okay na? So from this v square is equal to t by mu. So from this can you find the value of t? Yes, t is equal to v square mu. So I am going to substitute. Okay, so here I am going to substitute. We know we have z is equal to t by v. No, so what is t value? V square mu by v. Here square and v gets cancelled, and z is equal to v mu. Okay, so here what is the v? Wave velocity. What is mu? Linear density. So the characteristic impedance is defined as the product of wave velocity into linear density of the string. So therefore characteristic impedance of a string depends upon linear density and wave velocity. So this is about the transverse impedance or characteristic impedance. Thank you.